Hello students, welcome to the Python programming. Before moving to the Python programming, we should learn that what is program and what are the concept of programming. So in this session, we are going to discuss about Python programming with basic programming knowledge. After learning the programming concept, you will be able to know what are the basic of programming concept, how to use decision making statement, and what are the basic idea of GUI application using code. In this session, we are going to discuss about introduction to program, reasons why we learn program, introduction to Python, history of Python, its version, why it is called a perfect language, what are its characteristics, its application, and its environment. So, let's have a discussion on program. What is program? And why we study program? So, a program is a set of instructions which instruct a computer to do a specific task. Here we say a set of instructions because we know that computer always works on the instructions given by the user. So, a program is not a single instruction, it is a set of instructions to perform a specific task. And when we talk about computer program, software term comes. Software is a generic term which is used to describe computer programs. Scripts, applications, programs, and set of instructions are all terms often used to describe software. There are different types of software. It has various categories. Mainly the categories are system software, programming software, and application software. System software includes operating system, device drivers, compilers, disk formatter, text editors, and utilities helping the computer to operate more efficiently. When we talk about system software, it serves as a base for application software. Without existence of system software, we can't imagine to execute application software on any platform. So, system software is termed as the base for each and every software. Programming software is a set of tools to aid developers in writing programs. It provides various tools such as compilers, linkers, debuggers, interpreters, and text editors, which helps programmer to write the code and to make the code executable. The next term comes application software. It is intended to perform certain tasks. There are various examples such as MS Office, gaming applications, database systems, educational software, ticket reservation system, hotel booking system, and many more. Whatever you see for the specific purpose, those are all the application software. This type of software is what consumers most typically think of as a software. Each organization uses its own application software. Some application software are used globally and some are restricted to use per organization. For example, if you are using banking software, there are different application software for the bank such as web enabled and desktop enabled. The desktop enabled software can only be get installed on the desktop with a proper configuration and it should be handled by a particular authorized person. But when we talk about web-based applications, it can be applicable, it can be accessible globally, but can only be accessible by the authorized person. So, application software of different type, it depends on the requirement and how we are using it. So, when we develop a software, there is a term comes program. And what is program? It is a set of instructions. So, how do we write set of instructions? Should we follow any language? Should we write the code, the instruction in English, in Hindi, or in another language? Will it be understandable by computer? No. So, the term comes programming language. Computers cannot write programs on their own as they don't understand the human needs unless we communicate with the computer through programming language. Programming language is the word which is understandable by computer. And as we know, computer works on the power signal and it understands only the concept of 0 and 1. So, programming language is introduced which is understandable by computer language to communicate instructions to a machine. Programs are created or developed through programming language to control the behavior and output of a machine through accurate algorithms similar to the human communication process. Here the term comes algorithm. What is it? Algorithm is a instruction which is written stepwise in an English-like language. Suppose, for example, if we talk about algorithms, suppose we want to add two numbers. So what should be the algorithm for that? First of all, we have to take input of two numbers. Then we have to perform the addition operation. And then we have to store the result, store the output of the addition operation and display it. So this is a step-by-step process. We can't escape any one of the steps, and also we can't do any steps randomly. So algorithm is a step-by-step instructions written in English-like language, which is a sequential manner. So here we have discussed algorithms. Now, when we write algorithm, we should convert the algorithm to the code by writing it in a programming language. Programming language is divided into three parts: machine language, assembly language, and high-level language. Machine language is also termed as low-level language. Besides this classification, there are another classification also based on the use, such as web-based application programming language, Android programming language, server-side scripting language, object-oriented programming language, event-driven programming language, structural programming language, and many more. So let's have a look on machine language. Machine language is also called machine code. It is a low-level computer language that is designed to be directly understandable by a computer, and it is the language into which all programs must be converted before they can be run. It is entirely comprised of binary zeros and ones. In machine language, all instructions, memory locations, numbers, and characters are represented in terms of zeros and ones, that is, in terms of binary value. The main advantages of using machine language is that it can run and execute very fast, as the code will be directly executed by a computer and the program efficiently utilizes memory. It has several disadvantages also. It is hard to maintain and debug. It has no mathematical functions. It is almost impossible for humans to use because it consists entirely of numbers of 0 and 1s. Memory locations are manipulated directly. Requiring the programmer to keep track of every memory location is somehow difficult. So these limitations are removed by the evolution of assembly language. Assembly language replaces the instruction represented by patterns of zeros and ones with alphanumeric symbols called mnemonics. These, as assembly language uses mnemonics, it is also termed as mnemonic language, or it can be termed as symbolic programming language. The use of mnemonics is an advantage over machine language since the computer cannot understand assembly language. It uses another program called assembler, which is used to convert the alphanumeric symbols written in assembly language to machine language, and this machine language can be directly executed on the computer.
हम पूछ रहे थे कि कौन सा पहला ही कर रहे थे, पता है मेरा हो गया, उसके बाद बीच में पता नहीं 10 सेकंड या 15 सेकंड के लिए आवाज ब्रेक हो गया है।
मेरा तो आवाज ही नहीं जा रहा था, तो फिर वापस से करना पड़ रहा है। 2 बार सेटिंग चेंज किए फिर भी हाँ
चेक कर दिया,
चेक किया, वापस से कर दें।
हम चेक कर रहे थे, चेक नहीं किया, बताया।
अब बिना आवाज के कैसा लगेगा वीडियो?
मन भी नहीं कर रहा है,
थका हुआ लग रहा।
थका हुआ लग रहा है, घंटे में थक तो जाते हैं।
So, for example, if we are talking about performing the addition operation of 3 and 5 in assembly language, we will write add 3 comma 5. So this will give instruction to the computer to perform the addition operation. Similarly, for the subtraction we do. As assembly language is used, but it has also some limitations. It is difficult to read. It is machine dependent. So it's difficult to make a portable application using assembly language. So to remove these limitations, the high-level languages was introduced. It is more like human language and less like machine language. These are written in a form that is close to our human language, enabling programmers to just focus on the problem being solved. High-level languages are platform independent, which means that the programs written in a high-level language can be executed on different types of machines. A program written in the high-level language is called the source program or the source code. Each and every programming languages which follows the high-level language has its own file extension to save the source code. And when we talk about execution of these source code, first of all, these source code are converted into the machine language by using the translator. Either we use compiler or we can use interpreter. Both can be used to translate your source code, that is your high level code, to the machine code. Its advantages is it is easy to modify, it is faster to write, it gives you platform to debug, and also it gives you platform to create a portable code as it is designed to run on multiple machines. So we have seen various types of programming languages. Now, after having the idea about the classification of programming language, there is a question in mind that what are the reasons for learning program? Why should we learn program? Is there any reason for it, or just we learn each and everything, just opt to learn it? No. It has several advantages. We have several reasons to learn the program. And especially when we talk about the current technology, current era. We are living in the digital era where most of the tasks are being done through AI techniques. What is the logic behind AI? How AI works? AI basically works with the help of program. Each and everything what is performed by the AI is coded into it. So, program gives you an opportunity to develop your ability for abstract and disciplined thinking. It gives you opportunity for future jobs which will require software skills, and it has a greater earning potential. So there are various reasons. I have listed few of them. You can explore it as per your thinking level, as per your innovations. Now coming to the introduction of Python. It is a general purpose, interpreted, interactive, object-oriented and high-level programming language. Interpreted means it supports the concept of interpreter. Interactive means it gives you an interactive editor on which you can write the code. Object-oriented and high-level means object-oriented, it deals with the real object implementation using the class and object approach. High-level programming language, as the syntax is very much similar to the English-like language, so it's a high-level programming language. It is available across many platforms, including Windows, Linux, and Macintosh. It uses English keywords frequently, whereas other languages use punctuations, and it has fewer syntactical construction than other language. Python source code is also available under the GNU General Public License. It was created by Guido van Rossum during 1985 to 1990. It is also used for web development, software development, in field of mathematics, in field of system scripting, and many more areas are there in which Python can be used. So, after having the basic idea, one should aware about the history of Python. The history of Python programming language starts in the late 1980s. It was conceived in the late 1980s and its implementation was started in December 1989 by Guido van Rossum at CWI in the Netherlands. It acts as a successor to the ABC programming language, capable of exception handling and interfacing with the Amiga operating system. Van Rossum is a Python principal author, and his continuing central role in deciding the direction of Python is reflected in the title given to him by the Python community. He is the benevolent dictator for life, which means he continues to oversee Python development and retains the final say in disputes or arguments arising within the community. Sometimes people assume that the name Python was written after a snake. In fact, in the logo you can able to see that there is two snake having a color blue and a color yellow. But it's not. There is no any logic of having two snakes in the logo. It is something different to decide the name of the Python. Here is a story behind the naming convention of Python. Here is the story. Back in the 1970s, there was a popular BBC comedy TV show called Monty Python's Flying Circus. And Van Rossum happened to be a big fan of that show. At the time when he began implementing Python, he was also reading the published script from Monty's Python Flying Circus. And while reading, an idea clicked in his mind. He is in search of naming for the programming language he is going to introduce. His mind strikes, and he decided to give the name Python to the programming language what he is going to implement. So in this way, the Python name was given to the programming language. And really, it's a very interesting story because there is no logic of logo design with the name of the Python programming. Everyone thinks that it's a story of a snake or something like that. No, it's a script of Monty Python's Flying Circus, which gives the idea about the naming convention of the Python. Now the Python version. Its first version was released in 1994, the second was released in 2000, and the third was released in 2008. The most recent version of the Python is Python 3.9.1, which was released on November 2020. Now the question comes, why Python? Here, various reasons are there. It works on different platforms. It has a simple syntax similar to the English language. It has syntax that allows developers to write programs with very few lines than another programming language. It runs on an interpreter system. It can be treated in a procedural way, object-oriented way, or a functional way. There are both options to write the code. It is a great language for the beginner level and supports the development of wide range application. It is an open source. These are the various reasons we should opt for Python. It has several characteristics such as it uses interpreter, it's easy to learn, it's easy to read, it supports functional and structural programming method as well as OOPs. It can be used as a scripting language or can be compiled to write code for building large applications. It provides very high-level dynamic data types and supports dynamic type checking. It supports automatically garbage collector, which automatically collect garbage. It can be easily integrated with C, C++, ActiveX, Corba and Java. Besides this, it has several characteristics which makes it popular in this era. Now, if you want to make a career in IT field, these are the list of various industries which are in top of IT industry. These all industry uses Python for their software development. Either it's Facebook, Google, Instagram, Netflix, Spotify and many more. Here some of the major applications where Python can be applied, such as machine learning, artificial intelligence, data science, Internet of Things. As you know, these are all the hot topics of this era. You will study further in all details. Now the term comes Python environment. We know for writing a code in any programming language there is an environment. So Python has two environments, interactive mode and script mode. Interactive mode is a command based mode, whereas script mode gives you option to save your file in .py file. Script mode is a normal mode where the scripted and finished .py files are run in the Python interpreter. It is also known as IDLE. Whereas when we talk about interactive mode, it is a command line shell which gives immediate feedback for each statement, while running previously fed statements in active memory. As new lines are fed into the interpreter, the fed program is evaluated both in part and in whole. Interactive mode is a good way to play around and try variations on syntax. The triple greater than sign or triple closing angular bracket is Python's way of telling that user is in interactive mode. In interactive mode, what command is given runs immediately. If you want to execute 1 plus 1 in Python, you just type 1 plus 1 and press enter. Once you press the enter, you will get the response with 2. So, interactive mode is very much interactive, and script mode is used to write the script and save it in .py files. So, students, this is how we can use Python environment. We will come with more sessions with more videos related to Python, related to how do we write code in the Python. Keep watching on. Stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you.